Hey everyone, and welcome back to Timeless. If you watched the last video, assuming I put these up in the same order I recorded them, we ran into a really sick Mardu mid-range deck playing Necropotence on ladder, and I decided to recreate it a bit. This is a bit different from what we saw on ladder, because the ladder version had the Sorin combo as well. I built it as a bit more of a Scam Elementals deck. This is based on the Rakdos One Ring list that we had before, but Flage is going to be taking place of the One Ring. And we also get access to Ephemerate by being in white. Now, this is my first draft of the deck, and there's a couple of different ways to build it, and I wasn't quite sure of it myself. In my opinion, these are the core cards of the deck. Grief, Necro, Sorin, Dark Ritual, Reanimate. All of these black cards aren't going anywhere when you build the deck. So then you have to decide, how do I want to support it? And my idea for how to support it was with the red scam cards that we know are very good. Fable the Mirror Breaker is a very strong card to prop up this deck. Flage is another red card for Fury. There's Fury himself, and then we have Molten Collapse and Lightning Bolt. That's 16 red cards, which is enough to support Fury. Molten Collapse really impressed me the last time we played Rakdos Scam. This is probably the best 2-mana removal spell in the format, if I had to guess. It can take out any creature in Planeswalker, and that second mode is often very, very relevant, especially against sideboard cards like Pithing Needle, naming Necropotence, which is also good against things like Static Prison. It is a lot more useful than you think having access to that second mode, and we're playing Lightning Bolt here as the last extra removal spell just to get our red count up for Fury. There is an alternate way to build the deck that I was mulling over for a while. I'm not sure if it's better, but you can put Solitude here instead of Fury, and then you're going to have to switch up your cards. So you get to play Swords to Plowshares here over Molten Collapse and Lightning Bolt, and then you would just have to figure out another white card. The reason I didn't go with that is because I couldn't think of like a white replacement for Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Maybe there is a really good like value 2 or 3 white drop that we can go ahead and play. Maybe we could put like a Johnny in the Sorin slot, but I think if we stay base Rakdos, very similar to Rakdos Scam, and the white is just to splash Flage and to splash this Ephemerate, that was the most straightforward way to build the deck. I might try rebuilding it. Maybe you can try rebuilding it your way with a few more white cards. Also, if you notice the sideboard, it's all black cards again. Having white does give us access to a few more effects in our sideboard, but like I kind of like this sideboard from Rakdos Scam as is. This is pretty much exactly how we had it. So we have 4 more discard spells and the surgicals to bring in against any sort of unfair or control matchup. We have Vexing Bauble as well. I think this is something I added from the Rakdos version. 2 copies of that is never bad to have access to. 2 Pithing Needle effects, also great. And then 4 board wipes for when we are up against aggro. Keep in mind we have no creatures other than that Sorin that will get hit by Path of Peril. So we can just fire that off without a care in the world. And Toxic Deluge, of course, is the premier removal spell, mass removal spell of the format. Mana base as well, we had to take the Rakdos Scam mana base and add some Godless Shrines, a Shadowy Backstreet, and a Sacred Foundry. So now we can go ahead and actually cast our Flages. So let's answer the question. Is Flage enough to overcome the life loss from all these painful lands and the Necropotence? I mean, I'm excited. I think this is pretty sweet to try and jam all of these cards into one deck. It's at least something that we should try. So let's go ahead and try it out. All right, game 1 with a cool new deck. Do we keep this hand? We have Necropotence and we also have a Flage. So we have the most powerful card in our deck and a way to gain life. Against an unknown opponent with no companion, does this leave me dead? I don't know. Let's see what this deck can do. Alright, we got blue-black into a Thoughtseize. Interesting. So what is this if you have no companion? I don't know. They're clearly going to take my Necro here, but hopefully it's a slower deck that Flage can slowly take over the game against. Ooh, wait, they just discard Flage. Interesting. Let's go ahead and just throw as much stuff in the graveyard as possible for Flage. Why'd they discard Flage? I'm so confused. Maybe they're a Psychic Frog deck without the Laris? What are you cooking over there? I'm concerned now. Anyway, we get to do the thing. Is there any reason to save this Dark Ritual into Necro next turn? I don't think so. Trying to think of reasons. No, Dark Ritual doesn't help me cast Flage. I think we can just use it now. Oh, Bowmasters. Sure thing, buddy. It means I get to resolve my Necro. I'm always happy for that. Let's go ahead and Surveil. But thankfully this is Necropotence, not Necrodominance, so we can still throw things into our graveyard. Okay. Grief. Would I want to draw a Grief? Grief is good because we can 0 mana play it. But it also would be nice to just put it into our graveyard for Flage purposes. Let's do that. Because we're only one card off of Flage now, so if we draw a fetch here, we're good. I'm going to overdraw quite a bit because we have 3 lands that we can get rid of. So this would put us up to 8 cards in hand. Let's make it 9. Another Necro. Okay, we don't need another Necro. And then, oh, look at that, a fetch land. Okay. We can get rid of probably an extra Blood Crypt. Oh, no, not that one. Get rid of the Necro. And then they get exiled. But we will have enough cards in the graveyard to cast Flage by the time we're ready. Next turn, we can probably just play another Flage. Or maybe Molten Collapse, depending on whether or not they play something I'm interested in collapsing. Also, just play Sorin. Actually, we could just play Sorin, because then we can curve Sorin into Flage, and that would be pretty sweet. Yeah, let's go ahead and play Sorin of House Markov. And then we want one more card in that graveyard for Flage, so let's do it. And then let's not overdraw here. We have plenty of things to do next turn. Opponent taking a surveil. They are chilling. What are they playing other than just like Grixis control? I guess it is just Grixis control, right? Shooting me? You've got it. Do need to be a little careful about our life total. Sure, brainstorm. Great, lots of considering, lots of card drawing. Oh, Grixis Phoenix. Ah, of course. Oh, hey, no stealing. Yo, no stealing. That's toxic. Yep, okay, so we gotta make sure we fill our graveyard for Flage again. And that's a Phoenix coming back. Yeah, we gotta be really careful here. Take a Bowmaster off the field. Gonna gain 1 life here. We're living on the edge here. Very much on the edge. Okay. We're gonna want to get Godless Shrine, because then we could fetch basic Mountain off of Bloodstained Mire here. And then still Flage. We're also gonna want to attack with the Sorin of House Markov here, just to gain a tiny bit more life. Let's grab our basic Mountain. That will be enough cards to Flage again. Flage. Casting a red, white, white spell in my Dark Ritual deck. Classic. Okay, so get rid of your Phoenix. And then we go to combat. And then we're gonna minus Sorin just to clear the grief. Otherwise we're gonna die. Okay. So we're up to 5. I don't think I'm supposed to draw off of Necro just yet.
You will die, bloodless and screaming.
Yeah. Next turn I might just be okay to like make a food, eat the food, play a Flage, and then draw a bunch of cards then. Maybe I could have drawn 1. I want to keep myself out of Bolt range and Phoenix range if possible. Also, like, our opponent is very almost dead to Sorin, I just realized, because if I just attack with Flage, Lightning Helix you up top, play the other Flage from my hand, my opponent goes to 1, and then I just minus Sorin and they die. Okay, that was good. Good first showing against Grixis Phoenix. With Reanimate cooking. So since they have Reanimate, I'm going to assume they also have like some Sickam cards and Surgical. Excuse me, Surgical is going to be quite good. If that is the case, well, what do we want to do? We could take out a slow card and take out an ephemerate. Is Fury still going to be good against them? Yeah, I'd say Fury to answer the Bowmasters and also just present a threat is good. I don't think I would want to Thought Seize them. I think I just would want a Surgical as a gotcha whenever they reanimate. And then we could maybe drop one Fury. We could maybe drop a Sorin. We could maybe drop an Ephemerate. Drop one Fury? What do we see from them in terms of creatures? It's really just the Phoenixes and the Bowmasters. Maybe we could drop a Bolt over that. I know we're cutting red cards for Fury without cutting Furies, but... Okay. All right, it looks like we have a Scam Fury hand. We can keep it. We're probably gonna Scam Fury on like turn 3 or 4 after they do their very silly busted Phoenix thing or their Reanimate thing. They also could have like their own Reanimate hand where they like scam out of Fury and we get owned. Or not scam out of Fury. Scam out of Grief is what we're scared of. Alright, let's see what they take here. They might just take Sorin. Or Reanimate. Those are like the two logical choices for them. Oh, right. So they did take Sorin of House Markov. I think I'm just going to reanimate him. Yeah. I love how my reasoning is yeah. Honestly, I think it's my first time trying out Sorin. I've had the copies in my collection for a while, but I haven't seriously... Oh, yeah, okay. You surgical it in response. I hadn't seriously put together a Sorin deck, even though I had seen people do Sorin plus Flage before, and I was decently impressed with it. This is my first time actually, like, putting it together. So I'm new to Sorin and his play patterns and exactly how good he is and whether or not he is truly worth reanimating. I'm sure he is. Okay, cool. And they got to see my hand. Oh, that was my turn 1, right? Yeah. Alright, your turn. I thought it was my turn 2 and I would have a land drop, but nope. So my opponent doesn't have that much cards in hand after doing all this, so hopefully they're out of gas. Okay, yeah, you can take my Fury or my Bolt. I don't care. Yep, we are just chilling here. Just chilling to find a Flage, right? I will happily take a Surveil land and happily take my time. Let's get the white source here. Ooh. Is it the best card in my deck, perhaps? Is it going to get mana drained, perhaps? Let's find out. So this is a little awkward, because I would love to get a basic here for Necro to have 2 more life, but also basic when we're considering where a Flage deck is really bad. Let's go ahead and draw exactly 2 hand size. Let's not overdraw here. Maybe we could overdraw by 1, considering we have this basic mountain that I'm not super interested in. Yeah, we'll overdraw by 1, but nothing more. Alright, let's go to our end step. Alright, oh, discard 2 cards. Oh, I overdrew by 2. I only wanted to overdraw by 1. Not that it's a huge deal. There's nothing to reanimate. Oh, there's a Fury. Okay. Life total is a little sparse, though, I will say. Okay. Get rid of this Ephemerate with nothing to Ephemerate. Maybe could have gotten rid of the extra Necro, actually. That was probably a little more logical. I would just love a Flage to show up, that's all. Okay. I think here we're just going to play Fable, play a land, draw 2 cards. Hard to complain about that. We can go ahead and get another Surveil land here. Let's draw our cards. Not forget. Just 2. You may interject at any point you want, opponent. Are we getting Tidebound? What's going on? Nope, just a Surveil. I think I'm going to draw 1 extra. We'll overdraw by 1 and probably discard the extra Necro. I'd love a Fleege to show up. I think that's going to be a common theme with this deck. We have a Necro in play, and I'm just like, oh, please, Fleege, show up and give me some life. Surgical Sweet. The Ruckus. I was hoping to fetch the Ruckus. Okay, we can get rid of this extra fetch, probably. No, I said before I would get rid of Necro. There's no reason for me to have two when we're against Grixis. Okay, cool. We have this Surgical that we can pay life or mana for. Okay, Dark Ritual. Into Buried Alive? Are we dead? How dead are we? Okay, we are not dead because we have Surgical. Sweet. Right. Alright, incoming concession in 3, 2, 1. Thank you, opponent, for getting that timing perfect. Alright. Game 2, we're going to be up against Luar. We had a good first showing against Grixis Phoenix. Can we have an equally good showing here? We can go ahead and Ephemerate Grief and steal a shit ton of cards. I'm down for that. No, no, don't take my scam cards. I'm supposed to scam you. Okay, my opponent thought for a long time on that one, and they took Ephemerate, which I agree with. So we could just grief them this turn with no follow-up. I think we're going to Shadowy Backstreet here, see if we can find a card to pitch. We didn't immediately. We're just going to pass here. I think we could do a little bit better. Let's see what's going on. That is a fast funny monkey coming through. It's going to take my Fable. Okay. Sure. I mean, if they're just going to spend their turn dashing monkey over and over again, I don't think I really care. I'm not going to grief them just to take it. Maybe I should grief them, but I think Reanimate's very powerful, and all I need to do is draw a red or a black card to do the busted interaction. Sure, you can keep dashing Ragavan, I don't mind. Like, eventually they'll hit something really good, and I will mind. They hit Dark Ritual, which is a card I would have loved to draw. Alright, holy shit. We have our basics in hand, we're fine. But oh my god, that was almost not good. I mean, we no longer can pay double costs for some things. Oh, Dark Ritual? Okay, so now we could just throw out Fury or Grief. Our choice. I think Grief is going to be the best one here. I can also reanimate whatever the heck I want. Not that there's anything to reanimate, so let's just throw that Grief out there. You got Funny Monkey and what? Oh, okay, it's just Rakdos scam. I will take probably the Fury. It's the most powerful card. And then they could just keep dashing Ragavan. And then I can like reanimate their Fury. Sure. They're probably just gonna bolt dash here. Which is fine, because it really doesn't accomplish all too much. Sure. Like, yeah, you get a treasure, congrats, and if you hit a 1-drop, you can play it. Ooh, another Fury. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna get on the Fury beat down this game. We can cast Fury 3 turns in a row. Seems good by me. Ooh, okay. And a monkey. Okay. I lose life. I'm gonna go ahead and attack you for a bunch. You will take all of it, of course. And then play land, play Fury. Hit Ragavan. And then I'll have to think about whether or not I want to trade Shieldred when they attack with it. Depends on what else they do. A Fury? Oh, okay. Interesting. They're just gonna knock me to 1 here. I'm not dead. But I am dead pretty soon. Because I need a way to gain life off the top. Or yeah, I'm dead to just drawing a few more cards. So unfortunately, very close game, but my opponent's going to get it here. Very close one against Rakdos Scam. So against straight Rakdos, I think we just want to keep the main deck configuration. I think we have objectively some of our most powerful cards here. I don't know if we want to flute them. Not really. We probably want Surgical when we're up against Rakdos Scam, and that's about it. Grief interaction is not super strong. I think we might as well go for it. I do think we want to keep most of our main deck, so let's cut a Grief, cut a Ephemerate, keep it. Trying to decide what should go here. Sorin, I think, is going to be an absolute powerhouse in this matchup. Get rid of some 1-mana spells. I'm not sure exactly how to sideboard here, but I think putting the Surgicals in is correct when we're up against another Reanimate deck. Okay, nice. We get a turn one. I see turn one Necro, I keep. I'm a simple man. We don't need to overdraw by that much, for now at least. Like, we're not going to be able to do too much on turn 2 unless we draw another Dark Ritual. Nice, nice, nice. Let's get rid of that extra Necro. Okay, grief me? You got it. I'm gonna draw a bajillion cards, I really don't care. This is the true way to beat getting grief scammed. You just draw so many cards it doesn't matter. Yep, it's gonna get exiled. Our opponent has a not dead here. That's totally fine. We're just gonna probably Molten Collapse the grief. They could also take my Molten Collapse, and if they do, I'm happy to resolve Sorin instead. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna play Sorin. Right, spells I control have Extort. Let's draw 5 here. Alright, end step. Let's draw a bunch of cards. Oh, Dark Ritual, that's good. But we don't need another Necro. Ooh, Dark Ritual's tough because we actually can't Ritual into Fury. Because we don't have 2 red sources in play. I'd have to fetch 2 red sources for that, so I might pitch cast Fury this turn just to take out the grief. Pitch cast Fury, pay Extort on it. I could also just try to flip Sorin here, just for the sake of it. So I could, like, cast another Sorin or cast a Dark Ritual just to get Extort. I cast Dark Ritual, I Extort. Flip Sorin that powerful? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I think what we do first... am I going to do this silly Extort thing? I think I should. Let's go ahead, play Dark Ritual. I get to pay Extort here. If I had 2 red sources in play, I would just slam a Fury and not pay any Extorts. But here I want to gain some life and flip my Sorin. Pay Orzhov here. I then pitch cast a Fury. I pay Orzhov mana here again. Then when I attack for Sorin, that's 3 life. And I can flip him. And I probably just plus him and make a food. Combat, please. Okay, sweet. We get to hit. I'd love to flip my sword. Alright, we still have extort. Just gonna make a food.
Smell your succulent blood from here!
We are being sniffed.
A fine vintage.
Another Fury. I don't have a red card to guarantee that I can pitch cast this, so I'm gonna throw it in the graveyard. I'm gonna draw here. I don't want to be dead to bolt. So let's just draw 3. And then next turn we can get eating some food. We also could have a Bowmasters here, but it's not the end of the world unless they have multiple. Okay, we drew... Okay, we drew kind of nothing. So we can pitch cast a Grief, extort, eat a food. Okay, ow. I got bolted. So we pitch Grief, pay extort, eat food. Never mind, we're not pitch casting anything. We're just gonna eat a food, probably. We can eat 2 foods, I guess? Eat a food, and then draw a couple cards? Seems better than nothing. We'll have to see whether they leave us with Sorin or Grief. They leave us with Grief, okay. If they left us with Sorin, I would play the Sorin. But here, yeah, we're just gonna untap, eat a food, fetch, make a food, eat a food, draw some cards. Ooh, okay. We lost, right? I could eat a food minus Sorin, but I think I'm so dead. Eat a food minus Sorin. Can't do this, but like I don't have another way to get rid of this. I would have to draw into a bolt, which I think I have 1 copy of. Yeah. So there we go.
You're lucky I'm leaving.
Alright, let's get a Surveil Land, and then we get to draw 2 cards, and that's it. So hopefully we can hit a Flage, or some other way to gain our life. We're dead to anything. A Bowmasters, a Stiff Breeze. Also a Bolt that they're holding, right? You get the Bolt here? No, they have a Surgical on Sorin. That's fine. The real card I want to hit is Flage. Graveyard? Draw 2, please. And if there's no life gain spells here, then whoop, we're kind of done. Technically, this Grief can swing for lethal if we hit truly nothing. Yeah, we hit nothing. So if my opponent draws dead for a couple of turns, this Grief will eventually kill them. So that's very much our only hope, unfortunately. Alright, you may add some mana. Mana Burn is going to hit you for 30. So if our opponent just draws lands and Dark Rituals for 3 turns, we win. Oh my god, it's going to happen. Ah! Come on, just keep drawing lands for me. Oh, no way. This would be the stupidest win ever. Alright, come on, one more draw step. Concede. No fucking way. We didn't deserve to win that game. I don't deserve to win most of the games that I win in Timeless, yet here we are. Alright. Game 3. That was the stupidest win ever. We have it, by the way. We have Dark Ritual Necro, so we're gonna yeehaw send this. Our opponent doesn't go first here, so they do have the chance to Grief Scam us. If they do, then I'll cope. Looks like they're mulliganing at least once. Okay, they mulligan twice. So that means they have a Grief Scam, of course. There's your Blood Crypt. Aha! Oh, just Thoughtseize. I mean, they could still take Necro here and slow me down a lot. It's tough to argue that you should take anything but Necro, right? Right, opponent? Oh, yeah. That's a way to do it. So now they could take my Necro. Smart. Okay. And he just draws his own Reanimate. Alright, hear me out. You're dead. And when it comes back to me, I'll be taking a card from you. What a silly game. Gimme. No flute. No flute. Alright, I think we just traded with this Ragavan, and we'll out-top deck them. Oh, okay. Never mind. Ragavan gets to hit me, so maybe Ragavan can carry them through this game. Okay. Ooh, Fable. Perfect. That's the definition of out-top deck. Okay, trade. I would love extra mana here, but I'm not letting Ragavan hit me. Opponent appears to have something. Is it another Reanimate? Well, we'll find out later. Get rid of these two. Just don't need extra mana sources, but nothing to use them on. Okay, sweet. So we could just play another Fable. I think play another Fable, throw Flage into the bin is pretty good. We can't cast Necro because we drew a basic Plains and decided to play it out. So let's just play Fable. And smother our opponent in value while they're just stuck on one land and one treasure. Yeah. Okay, we didn't deserve to win that. The whole best of three. We don't deserve anything. Alright, game 3 with this very goofy, very greedy Mardu deck. We're going against Bestial Fury, and we are going to be on the play. This is not a busted hand, nor is it a degenerate one, but I like the idea of just keeping a hand with Fable of the Mirrorbreaker to sculpt it based on the matchup. I see no companion. I have no clue what we're playing against. So let's just go ahead and take our time here. Let's go ahead. Our opponent is still mulliganing. Let's give them a little time to think. But what I want to do is I just want to surveil on my first turn, make sure I'm not drawing a 5th land a little too early. Grief without anything to scam it. I think we're going to go ahead and say no to that. Just put it in the graveyard. A little bit of fuel for Flage later. And the next turn we could fetch Molten Collapse if needed. But what are you doing? Oh, what the heck? Reveal a swamp! Alright, we're in the Foreboding Ruins Elo today. And they take my Fable, which is an obvious choice. So let's go ahead and play Marsh Fats, and we could just go ahead and do another Surveil. Okay, they take both my Fables, understandable. And they take my... okay. They've taken everything from me. Okay, so it's another matchup against Rakdos Scab. Let's do it. Alright, let's surveil again. Let's see if we can find some action here. Oh, Flage. See, now that's the definition of action. I need another card in the graveyard for Flage, though. So we're gonna put him there. You're chilling there, Flage. We just need a fetch land or something for you. And I'll play this tapped. And then a fetch land or something shall be drawn off the top of the deck. I could have also just drawn Flage and hit Grief with it, but in my opinion, that puts us one turn further away from finding another card to fill the graveyard with to actually escape Flage, which is what we're super interested in. Okay, thanks, opponent. They did it for us. Unless they're gonna take out our graveyard here. Oh, shit. We're gonna get Phoenixed. So interesting. So we play 3 games today. We get 2 Scam decks and 2 Phoenix decks. Interesting. Did the first Phoenix deck also have Grief Scam in it? I don't remember. That's interesting. And yes, I'm aware I said 4 decks, but we had Scam plus Phoenix together here. Alright. So we're going to take 9 here. Dead to Bolt, the classic. However, we can gain a lot of life here. So what we can do is we can attack, take down the Grief. Or play basic. This thing. Keep the one that's in play. Hit the Phoenix. And now we are straight up chilling. I've never been chilling more in my life, in fact. Chronic Tutor. Also, I would just like to say in my Necropotence deck, I have 5 lands in play and only 2 of them produce black. Oh, this deck is maybe too greedy. I don't know if this deck should be allowed to exist. I think I should just delete the video. Don't post this. It's too greedy. People are going to craft it and lose their mana and then blame you. Alright, our opponent took a hot minute to DT. And... okay. They could not find a card that they liked. I think today, every single matchup, we've like only sideboarded in Surgical and said, oh, guys, it's a Surgical matchup again. Well, guys, it's a Surgical matchup again. Vexing Bottle? No. Blue? Nah. Board Wipes? Nah. Thoughtseize? Probably not. Maybe in some universe you could sideboard in Thoughtseize against a Phoenix deck, but I'd rather just like clean up the Phoenixes with Fury. And I think the first time we took out like a Fury. I don't know if that's correct. Like we take out a Bolt, a Fury, a Shieldred. I think a Shieldred is fine. Take out Ephemerate maybe. And then run it back like this. Again, like work in progress deck. Literally first day playing with it. I've played with it for like an hour total. Okay, cool. What the hell is this hand? What the hell is this deck? I have a Dark Ritual deck and a red, red, white, white card. 2 of them. I think this is fine unless they have an incredibly degenerate start. Fleege is just so good here. I'm gonna keep it. And also if they have a scam start, then like, I don't care if I get all these cards discarded, to be honest. I'll just escape a Fleege on turn 4, which admittedly is very, very slow for this format. This is such a weird format. Sometimes you're dead on turn 2, and then sometimes you could just like dirtle and cast your Flages, but that's why I love it. Yeah, take the Dark Ritual, I didn't need it. The Ruckus, sure. Gonna fill that graveyard as much as possible for Fleege. Ooh, Sorin, perfect. Yeah, let's go ahead and play him on curve. Now he can go ahead and block these Bowmasters very nicely.
This isn't even the good silverware.
Poor Sorin, he has to use the crappy silverware. I'm thinking about Sorin, thinking about Sorin value. Do I want to like bother extorting things? I don't think so, right? I don't want to slow down my curve just to, oh yeah, I pay 1 to drain you. That's not the point of Timeless. That's not how you win in the Timeless format. I don't think so, at least. All right, Fluting coming through. So if they have Phoenixes in the bin and a 1-mana spell, then they're looking good. Ooh, Reanimator Traxa. We're going to see it. Nice. Dark Ritual buried alive. Yeah. Good stuff. We are really foreboding Ruins Gaming out here. I mean, it's a fine way to build a mana base on a budget. I'm not going to flame it. How dead are we? Can we beat Atraxa? We can draw Molten Collapse. We can maybe beat Atraxa. I don't think it's likely. Is it exactly Molten Collapse that I have to draw to beat Atraxa? Oh, also, I have to flip Sorin. I need to keep that in mind. I don't want to flip Sorin if Atraxa is on board. Hold on, I'm trying to think. Oh, we can kill Atraxa next turn. Okay, we just have to pay Extort on Flage. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to take the turn off. We're really taking it off. We could also just say Flage you, and then, yeah, let's Flage you. I know what I'm doing. Flage you, or maybe Flage Bowmasters. Oh no, I'm going to flip my Sorin. Ah, crap. No, I didn't want to flip Sorin yet. I need to do this after combat. Alright, we'll flip it anyway. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. I wanted to just play Flage. Yeah. I wanted to just play Flage and not flip Soren yet, and I wanted to flip him next turn after Flaging again, paying Extort on Flage for 4 damage. Or that would be 4 life gain. I would then minus him to do 4 damage to Atraxa, and then do damage 5, 6, 7 with Flage. Our opponent's going to get a bajillion Phoenixes back, so we'll scoop it up. Yeah, all 4 Phoenixes, jeez. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely a surgical extraction gamer after sideboard. And run it back. Oh, right. Yeah, we can Dark Ritual Grief turn too. That seems pretty decent to me. We'll go ahead and keep this one. The most busted hand ever? No. It's a hand, though. And we have Lightning Bolt to interact with any, like, 1 mana thing they have, or if they have a really degenerate start, we can just bolt whatever they have. Let's go ahead and Surveil here. Surveil... Ooh, Soren. Soren is fine, but I think I really just want to hit my land drops. Ooh. No, I'm supposed to do this. Who am I kidding? And then I also grief them. Just because we can draw so many cards. I will happily take... Oh, I could take Soul Guide or take DT. I think we take DT here. Them having like a stacked handful of Soul Guides and Reanimates really hurts, but DT will prevent them from doing the really busted things. And then we'll just drop to 7 here. Oh, surgical. Nice. Okay. So if they reanimate my grief, am I supposed to surgical it? I think the answer is no. I think that would be a bit too much of a spew. I absolutely could to prevent them from looking at my hand, but I'll let them do it. They could look at my hand, they could discard something. Who cares? And when you surgical yourself, just like a little note, you don't have to succeed to search. So if I surgicaled my own grief there, I would have just left the other griefs in my library. Fun little detail. I take my Fable, which is a pretty obvious choice. And they Soul Guide me. Okay. Yep, they take Soren of House Markov. Makes sense. I'll just fetch really quick. I haven't need to surveil when I have a Necro in play. I'm not sure about my plays right now, because, like, I want to kill this Grief, right? But then they'll just reanimate it again. I think what I'm supposed to do is I'm just supposed to draw a bunch of cards and pass. Maybe I was supposed to surgical the Grief. It's making more and more sense the more I think about it. Yeah, if I surgical the Grief... Yeah, maybe I should have. Flage, that's good. Dark Writ, yep. Just get rid of a random land. Ooh, 2 random lands, maybe. We want Graveyard Fodder for Flage. We don't need 2 D-Writs. We could always just go D-Writ to fill the graveyard. Yeah, so what we're gonna do here... Oh, he's gonna take my Flage. So I wanted to Molten Collapse this Soul Guide Lantern to make sure my Flage lives. That was the idea, at least. Yeah, now it goes bye-bye forever. Dang it, that was the card that was supposed to get me back into it. Alright, now we're gonna get hit again. This is bad. Okay. Yeah, this is very bad. So, fetch here. Molten Collapse both modes. I'll probably have to defensively surgical myself, which is super bad. Okay, that was really weird. Was it grayed out for everybody? Or did I just have a moment? I don't know. We need to not be dead to Bowmasters. Ping. I need to find a card that gains life, so I'm going to draw all the way down to 2. But this is a tough spot to be in. We really needed that Flage. Oh, Shieldred. That is not going to gain me life. It's a win condition. It's not going to gain me life. Okay. You have a second Bowmasters? I refuse to submit. Alright. So what did we learn today? This deck's really interesting. My thoughts on it are still very rough because I've just started playing with it. It's interesting that we did like lose and almost lose to Rakdos Scam. That was Rakdos Phoenix. It was an interesting deck. But this didn't seem like clear head and shoulders better than Rakdos Scam. Also, like the Necro was pretty awkward. Maybe the other guy was onto the right track where he had the Sorin combo in the deck. And that was another way to just be very, very fast. Maybe I shouldn't be playing so slow. I'll have to think about this a little more. I need your opinions. I need everybody else's opinions. Have you played a deck like this? Did you build it like this? I think there might be something here. Maybe you want to build the deck a bit more degenerate. Just the thing is, Flage and degenerate things like Sorin into Vein Ripper exist on like opposite sides of the spectrum. Flage is very fair. Sorin is very unfair. Flage is very slow. Sorin is very fast. So, and of course, when I say Sorin, I don't mean this one. I mean the 3-mana Sorin. Sorin and V3 display. Imperious Bloodlord. Right? The other guy was playing that and Flage, and they exist on opposite ends of that fair unfair spectrum, right? So why would I put them in the same deck? I'm not sure. So I'm going to think about it. I'm going to cook a little bit with this deck, but I think this is a decent enough first draft to share and at least show people and try to get your feedback on it. So if you have feedback, if you have opinions, if you tried something similar, please send me lists, send me suggestions, let me know how to build it, and I will certainly try this again because this is really intriguing to me.